I just wanted to call out here that there are 190 participants and growing on this webinar right now. I think right off the bat, that is something to applaud. And I think that speaks to the power of Zoom. And in this really trying and turbulent time that we're in right now, I really do believe that Zoom presents a solution for companies, organizations, religious groups to continue on their business as usual on a very easy to use platform, a very simple platform, and a platform that is so powerful in its ability to connect people across the world. So let me just dive a little deeper into that question. So my mom actually introduced me to Zoom. It's probably about 3.5 years ago. And the way she introduced me to Zoom was her church in Fort Myers, Florida, used Zoom to connect members with each other. Now, I'm not sure if everybody on this call is familiar with Fort Myers, Florida, but it is a very seasonal area. We have a lot of snowbirds down there. And with a lot of seasonal residents, church participation in the summer goes down dramatically. The church was looking for a way to continue to connect members with Bible study, with workshops during those summer months when they might physically be away from Fort Myers. In came Zoom. With Zoom, she's able to connect, regardless of where she is in the world, to her fellow members. They're able to hold those Bible study groups. They're able to hold daily meetings to go over scripture and to talk about current events. It's amazing. It's simply amazing to see. Now we fast forward a little bit to where we are right now, and we're seeing that more and more churches, companies of all shapes and sizes are using the Zoom platform to connect. We're doing some pretty amazing things here at Zoom, and we understand these are unprecedented times. We understand these are scary times. We're really making it our mission to deliver what we call a happy experience to all of our customers and make sure that regardless of how these current events might be affecting us, we're able to connect, we're able to meet, we're able to join in prayer, and we're able to share with each other all of the positive and thankful things we do still have in our lives. So that's my biggest takeaway with Zoom. Now, there's tons and tons of features with the Zoom platform. My recommendation for any church is to, at the very least, have one Zoom paid license. With that Zoom license, you're getting so much in terms of a feature set. With, let's say, one business license, you're getting the ability to host a meeting and include hundreds of participants. You're getting an administrative dashboard where you can track and see who's attending meetings, what questions were asked during a webinar. So many great things that Zoom offers just make your communication experience so much simpler. We really call ourselves a unified communications platform. If you're not familiar, unified communications is just simply combining video, chat, like we have going on in the bottom right-hand corner, phone, and webinar solutions into one single platform. And that's just it with Zoom, one single platform. Yeah, you know, I was thinking about this earlier, and I could tell you how to do it, but you would probably, everybody on this call would probably forget within 5 minutes. So rather than tell you how to stream a worship call over Facebook Live, YouTube, I'm gonna try to show you real quick. So I'm gonna share my screen here. So streaming a webinar on Facebook Live, on YouTube TV, is actually an incredibly easy, simple, and very understandable process. This page, which I have on the screen right now, this basically just goes through a very high-level overview of how to enable a stream on either of those two platforms. There's no point of me reading through the exact description of how to enable it. So rather than bore you with these very specific details, what I'm gonna do when I finish up talking here is I'm gonna share this link in the chat. Feel free to visit the page. It's very, again, easy to understand and simple instructions. I can also show you, if I can get to the top right here. So if you're in your Zoom portal, and this is your administrative portal for your own Zoom personal account, this is your portal if you have the paid licenses, if you have a webinar subscription. So if you were looking to manage your webinar or meeting settings, let's do webinar, for example. Very straightforward and simple. We're just going to click on the webinar tab right here in the left-hand corner. And then we see a few things populate on the screen. All we have to do is click settings. And then don't be intimidated by all this information right here. This is just different features as far as the meeting go. If you want to enable Facebook Live, YouTube TV, you're just going to go to the advanced tab right there. Scroll down a little bit. It's about halfway through the page. And then we come right here. And where my browser is, where my mouse right here, allow live stream meetings. And we'll see it will allow you to select where you would like to stream that meeting. You know, if you're having a Bible study and you have members who would like to join via Facebook who might not have Zoom accounts, you can certainly allow them to join via Facebook, YouTube. But the big thing here to consider, and I'm just going to unshare my screen, pop back in here. Hello, everybody. The big thing to consider here is even if you personally don't have a Zoom paid subscription, we do offer a free subscription. So while your church might have a paid subscription, which they use to broadcast webinars, host group meetings, you're able to join from your Zoom free account if you don't want to purchase that paid license. So I think that's something amazing that Zoom does that a lot of other companies don't. We have a very, very rich feature set in our free subscription. It's not totally 100% there with the amazing features you might get in a paid subscription, but you still always have access to that. And another really amazing thing Zoom is doing right now, we recognize that these times are turbulent and challenging. We've actually made Zoom Pro, which typically is a paid subscription, we've made this free of charge to all K through 12 students nationwide and worldwide, actually, I think now. So we're always committed to making sure that our platform is in the hands of the people who need it. I think this, and I said this a few minutes ago, but I'll repeat it again because I think it's that important. The Zoom platform, I think, is the most important technological tool moving forward into the future. System requirements, you know, it's pretty broad in terms of what the requirements would be. We always recommend that you have the most up-to-date Zoom platform on your computer, on your phone, on your tablet. When we have an update, when there's a bug fix, we're always going to send through that update to make sure you're getting the best features possible and the best streaming experience. Of course, with the physical device itself, you know, if you're using a computer and you're trying to stream a webinar and that computer was made in 2002 and the processor is out of date, you know, the technical features that are actually intertwined into this, the settings on the physical hardware are out of date, you're gonna have a hard time broadcasting through a webinar. For instance, I just moved out to Denver, and when I first moved out here, I did not have a computer that Zoom provided for me to do my job. So I was using a 2011 Google Chromebook, which had one of the slowest processors that I've ever seen. So I was trying to broadcast, you know, meetings. I was trying to connect with large groups of people. And the experience that I was having was probably not optimal. So you want to make sure you at least have a somewhat, you know, newer device. I'm also going to include in the chat just some system requirements as far as the Zoom platform goes. Feel free to click on that whenever you would like, save the link, as that does go through, you know, some very good tips as far as what devices, what software, what kind of processor you're going to want to use to connect to the Zoom platform. So I'll make sure that's included in the chat before I leave here today. So if the church is a member of Desert Conferences Southwest, reach out to Christina. We can, work on something to try to get that accommodated there. I personally, just so everybody has full disclosure, the account which I particularly manage with Zoom is Desert Southwest Conference. So if there are specific questions there, I can assist. If you're not a member and still have a question, we do offer fantastic support. And I will also include our support link and our general website link in the chat below. So if you do have an account with Zoom, let's say, and you're having a technical question, you can always go here to get feedback. Or if you don't have an account with Zoom and we're looking to create one, you can always go to our main website, and it goes through plans and pricing there.
Great. So I'll share a little bit about my personal experience with getting help from Zoom. I have been crazy impressed. Anybody can get everything they need just by going to the zoom.us site. There's a blue little help chat button at the bottom right-hand corner of the website. You're on different pages on the website trying to learn something or trying to troubleshoot something. There, like Jared said, there's a lot of online help already. There's a number you can call, but that online chat help has been incredibly helpful. I don't even know how many times I'm typing in a question, immediately I'm getting responses for articles, but then whoever it is that's manning it will actually go on if I need more intricate help. And it's been several times where that person will just say, here, let's hop on a Zoom call real quick. And the next thing you know, they're there looking at my account. They're troubleshooting with me off of what's happening specifically to my computer. So I'm sharing this because nobody should feel, any Zoom user should not feel like, well, I'm not tech savvy. I wouldn't know what to do. I need to wait for my account rep, or I need to wait for my director of communications. You've got everything you need through the Zoom platform, that blue little chat button. Trust it, try it. You will not be disappointed.
And just a quick question for every participant out there. If somebody could possibly in the chat, if you know this, what is Zoom's motto? What is the motto that we preach to all of our customers? It's delivering happiness. So that is our commitment to everybody out there. We're committed to sustainable joy, to a happy experience for anybody on the Zoom platform. We do things a little bit differently than a lot of organizations out there. We're really customer centric in our approach. We're strongly committed to the best customer experience possible. And that really is present in, I think, all of our actions with Zoom. So if somebody is new to the Zoom platform today and using this webinar for the first time, welcome to Zoom. We look forward to having you on future meetings, future communications. And my lasting message here, if you are, a church, I strongly recommend having at least one paid subscription through Zoom. While the free version is great, while it is very useful, the feature set that you're going to get on a business plan is way better compared to the free version. It gives you a lot of abilities to take data, to see participation, and really, drive positive results.
If I have an individual license, can I use it to record and then create a link to that for people to see otherwise?
So if you have if you have a paid license, you can record your meetings. They are saved to the cloud. What you do with that meeting after it is saved to the cloud is up to you. We're not going to.
Okay. Another one is, and this is kind of a licensing question. If I'm doing a closed Zoom meeting with just the people involved, is that a licensable event? Is that a broadcast?
You would have to select for it to record. There is a feature where you do have to physically press a button to record it. So they're not automatically recorded. You do have to select for it.
Do you actually need to have an account? Because if the presenter sends you a link, you can just go in straight without even signing up, right? People can just watch a meeting.
Yeah, you could join in under the free, again, very generous free plan. You don't need to have a paid subscription.
Okay. I think those were some of the highlight questions here, Christina.
Great. I'm going to dive into those. Don't worry. If you typed a question in the Q&A, you'll get an answer from me. I have a few links to share in the chat. Christina, if you want to reach out to your members with DSC, we do have, like I said, some great pricing and plans available right now. And of course, some fantastic group rates for, you know, a larger set organization. So you can reach out to me with any questions. It was great joining here today. And thank you all for having me.
Let's say a local church is putting together its worship service on Zoom, and they are sharing that link with their members, but they're not broadcasting this on YouTube or Facebook and have no plans to redistribute. Is that closer to a worship service, which would be protected, or is it closer to a stream or a broadcast? And I know a number of pastors have asked that question. I don't know who would answer it. I know the licensing folks would just say, ding, 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 you need to pay. But I don't know if they're the best resource for that. So if Jared's still on, if he has any experience with churches doing that, and if there's an answer to that, I know people are very interested.
Hey, Patrick, I was typing away answering a question. I heard my name, but I didn't hear the question. Would you mind repeating it?
Yeah, sure, Jared. If a church essentially had a digital private worship service where they didn't stream that on Facebook or YouTube and had no plans to post the video of that on any platform after the fact, would that be closer to protected worship, where in a sanctuary there's a lot of rights that churches have to use material in that space? Or would it be closer to a broadcast stream where all of this additional licensing is required?
The licensing would not be required if it's closed. If it's not being broadcast on a public platform, there's, you know, no need for licensing because we're not monitoring your meetings or anything like that. So unless somebody from the actual meeting itself reported something that went on there's no way that would ever get out of the actual meeting itself.
So that was part two. On Zoom, there is no current automatic, you know, like if somebody plays a clip from NBC, you don't have anything that's currently monitoring in order to prevent that.
No, it's a free share platform. You get a license from us to use our platform. And then unless you're going from our platform to another, because I can't really tell you what another platform's rules, requirements, and licensing restrictions are. Unless you're leaving our platform, you're fine to share what you will in the closed setting.
Okay, and just to cover the bases, thank you, Jared. That's what I had for you. Just to cover the bases, I am not recommending you take licensed content and stream that over Zoom and watch like the latest Star Wars film.
I'm not either. I'm just, yeah.